And look at all these faults that I've got here. And I've cleared the SBC fault, which is obviously linked to the ABS fault and the ESP fault. See if the faults are away. It'd be amazing if it was just a little one-off incident. My steering is really heavy. Hit the toothed gear. As the wheel's turning, it goes high, low, high, low, high, low. Look at that, I've got 7 faults on my motor electronics. Whoa, no fault codes detected. It reads, and it's past it. Let's turn it on and see. Oh, baby! So I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is I'm using my lovely Action 4 DJI camera. Just got it. Looks brilliant. Looks just like my GoPro. But unfortunately I had to get a new camera because the GoPro was starting to freeze up on me. The bad news is I've got some faults on my dash. My steering is really heavy. I've had this before. I'm just going to straighten the car up. And I've got an ABS and an engine management fault come up. Now, what I can tell you, this is what I know, is there was a lot of rain last night and I went for a big puddle, but that was this morning. And it didn't come on straight away. I drove back, no problems at all, but now I've got this issue. I'm hoping it's just a sensor is got dirty or something like that. So I've got my Autel Maxicom out. I'm going to plug it in and see what I can see. I have just done a video probably about 5 months ago on how to check for the ABS sensors. It was my rear right sensor was away. I had to drill it out because it got rotten in there. So maybe because I changed one side, perhaps the other side on the left hand side there is giving me a problem. So I'm going to plug in my diagnostic. So today I'm using my Autel Maxicom 808. But it's a good little test of the camera. So here we go, look, you can see we've got deactive visit workshop, 3 malfunctions. Got ESP, I've got ABS, and I've got brakes. So they're all going to be linked. It's just a case of finding what the root cause is. So she's plugged in, turn the ignition so that it's on the first turn of the key. I've just recently updated all my apps here, so I had so many updates, so that's all done. So let's go into diagnostic and let's go to favorites. So there's my Mercedes-Benz. Got automatic selection to read the VIN. There it is. Press OK. Select the date range. Right hand drive. Gives you the details. Yes. So this time I'm going to go straight into a specific function. So let's go to diagnosis. I'm going to go control unit rather than automatic scan because I don't want the whole thing to scan. I just want to go into, it's going to be probably the drive. So these are the categories. So let's go into drive and let's see if it's listed there. So probably be under transmission, electronic selector module, DT is not distronic. So let's go into transmission and see if it's there. Let's go into trouble codes. Left rear wheel sensor. Well, what did I say? I shouldn't be so accurate. I said it could be the rear left wheel speed sensor. Considering the right hand side I just did about 5 months ago, it looks like the left one's on its way out now. Oh dear. Well, anyway, at least I haven't got to get an MOT right now at this moment, which is what I had to do to get the car passed. MOT, for those of you outside of the UK, is a yearly test and you cannot have any faults on the dashboard. So I had to change it to get it to pass its annual pass, so I'm allowed to drive the car. Fortunately, I've got another 6 months. So I can still drive the car, albeit that she's a bit heavy on the steering. And I think that's a real nice touch from Mercedes. They obviously do that to make you realise something's not quite right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can erase the code. It might just be a hiccup. Let's see if we can do it. So DTCs are going to be erased. Do you wish to continue? Yes. Have you switched the ignition on and back off again? Right, let's do that. So turn it off. I'm going to wait 10 seconds. Okay, that's been 10 seconds. Let's turn it back on again. I'm going to press yes on my diagnostic. Let's see if any lights go out. It says there's no faults found, but then it's probably not going to give me a fault until I drive the car. So let's start the car. No, the faults are still there. So the faults are still there. So one of the other things I'm going to do is I'm going to go back out the menu. Right, so I'm going to go to control unit. I'm going to go into chassis, because I think that's actually, here we go. So you've got your ESP, electronic stability, SBC, sensor brake, etc. So let's go into ESP and see if I can clear that fault. That then may clear the ABS fault before I start going ordering parts. So let's go into trouble codes. Look, I appreciate you watching, by the way. My name's Groovon. I do the videos myself. I write the videos myself. I direct myself. And I do all the editing myself. I'm just a one-man band. So I appreciate it if you got to the end of this video. And it says there we go, check component, left rear speed sensor, and it's saying that the CAN communication of the engine control module is faulty. Right, well, let's try and erase the codes. And we're going to press yes. Going to turn the engine off and on again, or turn the key off and on again. Have you switched the ignition off? Yes, let's wait 10 seconds. And let's turn it back on again. And let's press yes. So the CAN communication is gone, but we have the issue still with the left rear speed sensor. So if I then go and press erase codes again, let's just see. Well, interestingly, I'm now not getting a fault code when I've gone into the trouble codes, and that was for the SBC control. So I'm going to go back and have a look at my error codes and see if it's gone. Be interesting if it is. So I cleared the SBC first. It's going to trouble codes now, back onto the ABS, the rear speed sensor. Still there. Erase codes, turn the engine off. Okay, key off for 10 seconds, back on again. Oh, it's not there now. It's not there. So let's escape that and escape again. So I have seen this before. It can be quite important, the order in which you clear codes. And I've cleared the SBC fault, which is obviously linked to the ABS fault and the ESP fault. And now I've got no faults on my dash. But however, I haven't started the car. So let's start the car and see if the faults are away. It'd be amazing if it was just a little one-off incident and I'm going to go start changing ABS sensors. So let's see what happens. I have no faults showing. Let's start the car. No way! Oh, engine management though. I've got an engine management. What's that all about? Okay, let's turn it off. Let's turn it back on again. I've still got my engine management fault there. Sometimes plugging this in can have that come up there. So let's escape that. And escape again. And escape again. I'm going to go right back out. I like to come right back out the menus rather than just unplugging it. I'm going to exit. Okay, I'm completely out. I'm going to unplug the unit. I'm going to go for a drive now, and I'm going to see if the steering wheel... Oh, the steering's come back again. That's good. The steering's nice and light. So ABS seems to have fixed itself. I just need to know what that engine control unit is. I can do a full scan and pick up what that fault is. But importantly, it's saying there, no malfunctions. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Let's go for a drive. Okay, well, definitely the steering's nice and light again. That's good. I was going to show you the speeds on the ABS, but it seems to be behaving itself. I will check that though, just in case the sensor is still playing up. But my ABS is gone, that's good. So I'm running a full scan now to see what that engine management warning light is. And you'll notice when you do a full scan, you'll get things like diagnosis. There you go, just popped up on the old command system. That's normal, it's just running through certain things. You'll also hear things like the vents come into life. So there we go, come to the end of its list. And look at all these faults that I've got here. Don't get too concerned when you see that. One fault could have a knock-on effect with the other fault, etc. So yeah, and I know I got hardware issue, certainly with my touch keyless door entry on one of the sides there, so I'm not too concerned. And actually that's one of the nice things that I like about the Autel, is that it puts all the faults right at the top of the list. I've got a iCar soft that you have to pick and choose and go into each and every single individual item to find out what the faults are. Autel tells you straight away. Right, here's the important thing. Can I clear them? Or can I clear the ones that I know I can clear? And is it going to take that light off my dash? That's the most important. So with the key in the ignition, but not with the engine started, you should be able to start clearing codes. So I'm going to go into the first one there, motor electronics. Let's try and erase that. So go, you can do a quick erase and it will erase everything in one hit. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go into the ones that I believe are linked. You've got passenger side, rear SAM, rear signal acquisition. So it could be that side there, the rear SAM, because it controls the ABS potentially. So let's go into that one. And let's read what the trouble code is. Component trunk lamp. Okay, fine. I'm not concerned about that at all. But there you go. This is what I mean. I've got a light bulb out on my trunk lamp, and it's because I've got LEDs, and sometimes it's a bit iffy. So you know, just because you've got lots of faults, it's not the end of the world. So let's clear that. Why not? So let's go erase codes. Yes. Going to say about the key off and on. So turn it off. And back on again after 10 seconds. We'll do a quick check to see if the fault's gone completely. And it has. No faults detected. Right, so let's go back. And again. And let's go back to that list. So we have got Partronic. Don't have to worry about that. I know I've got an issue with the sensor. ESP. Now that one there was a fail before. And now we're getting a nice clean bill of health, which is lovely. Passenger side SAM. Let's have a look at that one. Passenger side in my car is going to be the left, so it could be the control unit that's connected in some way to that ABS control module, ABS sensor. Going to trouble codes, parking lamps, and it's talking about the heater and circulation pump has a short to ground. Okay, well let's erase the codes. Yes. Back off and on again. Press yes, and they've gone. Good. Right, let's go back out. We're getting somewhere now. So there's nothing else there that really is necessarily to do with the ABS. ETC, electronic transmission control. Yeah, could be that one. Could be that one. Look at that. I've got 7 faults on my motor electronics. So let's go into these 2 here, and then I'm going to try and clear the lot on a quick erase. Wow. We have increased speed due to SBC low voltage, left oxygen sensor again and again. So I know I've got a problem here with an aging sensor. That's something that I need to change. Road detection signal by the wheel speeds. Here we go. So this one here very much looks to be a fault on the ABS sensor. So let's try and erase the codes and see where we go with that. So keys off, 10 seconds. Wow, no faults found. Well, they might come back when I drive, but at the moment they've gone. And the last one I want to look at is the transmission control. So it says reading, and look, it's past it now. So the motor electronics, which had 7 faults, is now all cool in the gang and we're clear. So let's go back up to that last one, which is electronic transmission control module. If it's clear, it throws it down to the bottom of the list and makes it go blue. Trouble codes. Left rear wheel sensor. That's the fella. Let's see if we can erase it. Erase the codes. Yes. key off, wait 10 seconds. It's going to do a quick check and see if it's gone. Whoa, no fault codes detected. And let's see if it goes blue. It reads, and it's passed it. So it's now down at the bottom of the list. And I've got these. Now, instead of going to each individual one, I'm going to go quick arrays. And let's see what it can do. If it passes, it'll just go, these will drop out of the list. There's going to be some that it won't pass because they're hardware faults. So moving down, we've only got these now. We've only got 4 now. I think the park system won't clear because I've got a dodgy sensor, but I'm not that fussed about it. And the last one, keyless go, that's definitely something that I can't clear because I've got to change the door handle. Nevertheless, there we go. System diagnosis can. So there's one there, system diagnosis can, I couldn't seem to clear. At the moment it's showing as no malfunctions, but I did have that engine warning light staying on. So keys off. I've still got my diagnostic plugged in, so let's turn it on and see. Oh, baby! And that there is just my handbrake, so let's pull that. She's clean, the faults are gone. Let's work out what we think, what happened there. Now, lessons learned, and the reason I do this channel is from what I've learned in the past, and to try and maybe help people and say, let's not panic about it, let's break the problem down. And as an engineer, that's what I do all day. So yeah, I'm not showing off here, but you know, sometimes you just got to think about the problem. And the problem being, I put it down to weather. There was a lot of rain last night. In fact, there was flooding last night, and I went through. My car sits quite low. In fact, she's 30 mil lower than normal. So the car was sitting in water. Well, I went through a puddle, and it may have splashed up and hit the toothed gear, which is what the ABS sensor picks up. So if you imagine, here's my toothed gear going around the hub, and it's got one on each of the wheels. That toothed gear has a high point and a low point, high point, low point, and a device called an ABS sensor, which actually is just a Hall effect sensor, measures the highs, the lows, the highs, the lows. So as the wheel's turning, it goes high, low, high, low, high, low. If there's a little bit of gunk between the high and the low, and the pulse from the Hall effect sensor, ABS sensor, speed sensor, whatever you want to call it, is different to the other sensor on the other side, and it sees it as going too fast or too slow, if there's a big anomaly, it will throw up a fault on your dash. If it's all working cool in the gang, when you get that anomaly, it will then throw in the anti-skid system on your car, your ESP, which is your electronic stability program. And what it will do is it will brake, as in using the brake pads on the wheel, to bring those wheels back into playing sensibly. And likewise, what that also does with these sensors, ABS sensors going through that tooth gear, so the sensor is seeing that the wheel's not spinning because it hasn't got the Hall effect system with the highs and lows and the peaks and the trough. It knows the car is moving because of the RPM, and it says, hang on a second, this ain't right. And you put your ABS on, and it will pump the brake to get you to come to a stop far quicker than it were if you were just to keep your foot on the brake. And if you ever get a situation when the ABS kicks in, say in the snow, don't lift your foot off the brake. Let the car do its thing. Pretty much all cars have ABS now. When you put your foot on the brake, it will pound the brake for you, and it will bring the car to a nice controlled stop. Well, that's the idea anyway. So I appreciate it if you got to the end of this video, and I really hope in some shape or form that's helped you a little, because I was going to go out and buy a sensor, but for a little bit of thought and clearing the codes in the right order, I don't need to do that now. So happy days. It was just down to some bad weather. Woo. Okay. Stop recording.